Hello everyone, my name is Amos Nimos and I created a website. And there is much to say about the creation of this website. First of all, I don't know if people are using it. I don't know if people are going on the website. I don't know what people think of my website because I don't track people. The first thing you see when you go on my website, it's purely HTML and CSS, no scripts, no cookies, no trackers, and no ads. No PHP, no backend. It's all front end, it's all static. Maybe that doesn't mean anything to you. Maybe to you, a website is just a place you go and you have content. And that's what most websites are. I mean, that's what my website is. But there's also all these hidden parts to websites, and I don't expect that everybody will become an expert in web development. There is a reason why back in the days we would call computer savvy people wizards, because not everybody needs to be a wizard. Not everybody needs to understand the magic that makes your computer work, that makes your information appear on the screen. But here's the thing. I created this website. I put effort into doing that, and the first reaction I can see sometimes is that people will disregard my website because I did it myself, as if because it is DIY, it is of lesser quality. This is why people turn to social media website. I think that now that people are accustomed to using social media website, they kind of fear traditional website, and there is a good reason for that. When you go on a search engine like Google and you search for a website, let's just try it. For example, let's go on Google and look for a website. Let's do that. While this load, I'll keep my rant about like the website I created. It's already loaded. So first of all, like you have 8 ways to find pride with Google. I'm feeling lucky. Google search, offered the language. You have other applications that aren't search engine recommended. Okay, it's Google. They do whatever they want. It's their website. So Google itself, do you like it? Do you not like it? Do I want that? Do I want these recommendations? Do I need to change, hide that in the settings? Maybe I don't want that. So you have like photo search, which is a nice feature, and voice search. So now let's Google, for example, kimchi recipe. There it is. And you have like people also ask, so I'm not yet at the kimchi recipe, and when I open a website like Luke Smith talked about that thing, and here you have like somebody talking. Today I'm going to show you how to make classic spicy traditional. Lot of text, not a lot of recipe. See the picture of her. I don't really care about what she looks like, and here you have the recipe, and that's something that Luke Smith talked about. And like websites now, like if I looked, I cannot see the back end of this website, but it's probably using cookies. It's probably using JavaScript. It has this search thing, which confirmed that this is, not that much of a static website, because as a static website, just having a search bar is kind of complex. You need to rely on external tools. So, and that is a minimal website. I am not trying to say that this site is bad. I'm just saying that the whole internet has turned into something that it wasn't initially. And we all know, like with Web 2.0, modern web, the introduction to JavaScript and all that, things changed from the just plain text page. But I think that this is causing a dumbing down of society. Like, I make videos because otherwise people wouldn't hear about my website. Like, I created this website. I put effort into it, and there is, I think, good content into it. But unless you search for it, and even when you search for it, I am not the first result unless you type like .com, which is the full website URL. So how do you find my website URL without having my website URL? You see this, and even by typing the website URL, you don't find it unless you just look for it. There you have it. You have the front page and your web browser, and you have like all my articles. They're all dated. You have like the feed page. You have the link page, nice page with links to stuff that I think is interesting. And I explain what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do. And oh, the feed page is broken, but there's a reason for that, and I can all fix that. And you see, it's a lot of work. I'm gonna show you the code to the website a little bit after that, but and people disregard. I think that a lot of people disregard the works it takes to actually create a website in HTML from scratch, from code, and keep it minimal. Of course, if you use tools that will create the website for you, you're not controlling what the website code is actually going to look like. You're not controlling what it's actually going to contain. And that's like not good for the end user, the people using your website, because they themselves don't know what's going on your website. So I think it would be nice to have a kind of a barrier between dynamic site and static website, and have more transparency. Even though like transparency when it comes to dynamic site, you don't want that for website like banks and stuff like that. You don't want that. That it could facilitate people to hack the thing if they understand it better. So it's kind of safety through obscurity, which is never a good thing, but it's what we have. You know, we need to start somewhere. And but I do think that for static web page, like there should be a different web, and I think that people don't read anymore. That's the other argument that I want to bring up in this video. Reading has vanished. I myself, when I go on a website and I just see a wall of text, I am not tempted to read it, and I will use maybe a text-to-speech tool to help me. And I like time. This is the second thing. People think they don't have time, so they watch like shorter content. They think they can absorb more information. Like the way we access information kind of have been optimized to a point where the information itself has been diluted. This is something that I could write in an article on my website, but who would go read that article unless I have some sort of a presence? Like, how do you reach people? Like, we are in this day and age of influencing, of influencer, of people that creates these links of people, you know, because reaching people is quite hard. When you want to, back in the day, you could create a mailing list. How cool is that? You have like a bunch of email. You can just copy these emails and send a message to all these people. And there is an equivalent to that, which is the RSS feed, but most people don't even know what that is. So how are we supposed to have a society smart where people use that kind of stuff? A newsboat is very great. Using terminals is very great. Like this is the kind of usage that everybody on earth should be moving towards, but it's not what we are doing. So here at the front page of my website from the terminal, and it's all working. I made my website in a way that it is fully functional and very readable from the terminal, and that is very good. Like, you don't need to like every single article I write. You don't have to read them all. Of course, you decide what you do with your time, but visibility, like that is something very important. And if you go at the last post here, you have all the posts again. Why? I think for not found. So okay, it doesn't work with links, and it's okay. It doesn't matter that it doesn't work with links. But if I open it in the web browser, I go on my Freedom blog and I looked at the last entry in my blogs. It's the post, and see, it's not working. And I think that was only working locally on my computer, and it's quite sad because what it was basically was simply the access to all my article, to see the directory itself of containing all my article. But I don't think you can access that when the website is published, because probably for safety reason you don't want people to have access to all the information on your website. That's good. But again, the reason why I did it that way is to prevent some pages, some article from not being shown. I want to be transparent. I want to show people that all my articles are there, they're visible. So this is broken, so I'll have to remove that from the website. And speaking of that, I will go show you a bit of how I created my website, because I think it is interesting. So we are in the website, and I have tools here that I created to help me generate my articles, to help me add links to my link page, all that stuff. And if I go into the blog/freedom, which is my blog on freedom, but it's not just on freedom, it's kind of the base core idea behind it, that I want a freer society, a society that has like where individual have more independence and a more basically freedom is a good word. I'm not gonna redefine that, but some people are almost afraid of that word nowadays. It has been like politicized, but it's just what it say. It's about freedom. Everybody should want to be free, so there shouldn't be like a stigma associated to the word freedom, but there is. You'd be surprised. Like creating your own website should be something that gives you credit, but in the eyes of the population that has been influenced by propaganda and by the media, creating your own website remove credibility from you. But I'll show you all the credibility you already have just by being able to create a website. It is a skill-based thing. And yeah, of course, everybody can create a website, but you can also judge the quality of the website itself. And I don't think that when you look at the default websites that are made automatically by website maker, by AI website generator and all that you will find on the web, like news websites and all that, they are very bland. They're not that great. You don't see creativity behind them. And if I just look at my blog.html, and here you have like all my article, and you have like this last line right here, which is this line right here, which did not work. So I'm just gonna remove it since it's no longer useful. Since it doesn't work actually. And that's what it looks like. It's a lot of code. You need to write that. You need to create tools to help you write that. And that requires some skills, some effort. And that effort, I think, is worth something. I'm doing this for a reason. Why did I put so much effort into making the content on that site available? There must be something of some value on that site for me to be willing to put that much work into it. So links, amosnimas.com. This is a website. It is a very minimal website. It works in your terminal. I suggest you use it in your terminal. I suggest you use Linux if you're not using Linux. This is the Kitty terminal, because yes, there is multiple terminal, and I suggest you start deciding the software you use instead of just taking the default, because default software are often bad for you, are often bad for your freedoms. And I think we should always have alternatives. Like, you should have alternatives to pretty much everything. And it's good that we have even alternative to the CLI workflow. You want to see my website as is, basically as a graphical website, because I put the time and effort into creating it. You can simply use a tool like Dillo, which is a nice minimal web browser. It is a bit slow, I just noticed that, but it gets the job done. I think we're still loading the images for the background here, so not the quickest one, but it still get the job done. The website is still working. And yeah, I mean, that reminds me of the old internet. It is simple. You have bookmarks, tools and settings, all the basic stuff. You don't need more than that. Maybe an ad blocker. No, you don't need an ad blocker, because ads shouldn't be as intrusive as they are nowadays in the modern internet. I think the GIF is slowing down the web page. So in this example, I'm pretty sure the reason why it's so slow is because of that GIF, which isn't even moving in that example. But there is multiple web browser. You can use W3M. You can use bunch of web browsers. And the thing that I like about minimal website is that especially minimal static website, is that you can just use wget to download the web page that you want from that website, the article you want from that website, and then you can use, for example, Pandoc, and convert that page.html to page.pdf, and you have a PDF of that article that will be preserved. So hopefully we go back to some of that stuff. We go back to having people using the terminal more often in their day-to-day. Like I want the terminal to be a bit more mainstream, if possible. That would be better for humanity, and also it would be better for humanity if we just had better idea of what we actually want the web to become in the future, and we could take inspiration from what it was initially, because we deviated a lot from what the internet was and was supposed to be. And I think just the example of using Weebly will remind you of what the internet could be. Games also, text-based games have a lot to offer, and it of course it requires more effort mentally to play a game like the original Rogue, for example, or NetHack. I don't even know if I have it installed. I do. So these games require more of your brain. Games like Dwarf Fortress and all that. But I think that's good. I think we want to live in a society where people practice using their brain instead of being reliant on tools like AI-based tools, ChatGPTs, and so on. And I know these tools are great. I like them. I use them, but I don't want to be reliant on them. I want to be able to do stuff on my own. Like the website I showed you, I'm not using ChatGPT except for checking my spelling to make sure I don't make spelling error, spelling mistake, which could be used to discredit the quality of the stuff I talk about, of the opinions I bring, and I try to avoid that. But even then, the language that we have are imperfect. Like the English language has exception in itself. So this is where I stand right now, having this website that I put a lot of effort in, which is amosnimas.com. And I will try to focus less on politics, because I had to talk about politics when politics was invading my personal life. But now that we have returned to a somewhat normal lifestyle, life environment, if you want, now that the politics is less intruding into my personal freedoms, I don't feel forced to talk only about these topics. Quite the contrary, I want to start to talk about more of the stuff I like, which is technology, and how we are using it. I like the concept of retro tech, or vintage tech, call it whatever you want. If you are nostalgic of an era that I haven't even experienced, I wasn't born in an era where computers were only working with terminals. But now that I'm using a terminal, I kind of take inspiration from that era. So let's just open. I really like this tool called the Cool Ritual Terminal. I don't use it enough, but let's use it to go on my website and see what it looks like in this old terminal interface. Of course, you won't have the colors, which like you won't be able to distinguish the color easily. So let's go on the Freedom blog, and here you have like all the articles that I've written, and let's go on the link page. Doesn't that look good? Isn't that like intuitive? And now I can go on base clicking from there. I have a website that links to another website, which isn't mine. This one was created by Luke Smith. I can use the search bar here. I can select, something. Those are, I think, the last recipes that were added. I wish there was one for kimchi. That would be great. One maybe on pita. I should look if there is a recipe on how to create pita bread. I like that the emojis they're using here are also working in this terminal. This is quite rare that emojis will still work in the terminal, but some are. And see, you have the recipe. It is simple, it is beautiful, and yes, this is the web I want to be using, not the bloated internet. Why am I still capitalized? I don't know. I have other also profile. Futuristic, I think, is one that I like. Like this one looks more modern. It almost looks like you're in the future, but I really need to remove the capitalization, otherwise I'm kind of stuck. Okay, so I have to No, I'm still capitalized. That's weird. Weird issue probably with links, I guess. amasnimas.com. You can find me on Weebly. Weebly is a search engine. I don't know if I talked about it. Let's go on Weebly. That would be nice. And I can find Weebly from my website. So Freedom Blog. We kind of see the color better on this thing. So if I can just look for Weebly right here. Here we are on Weebly, and I can do a search. So I forgot how to use links properly. Can I start typing, or do I need to type enter before I enter text? Enter text into the field by typing on the keyboard. So I can just start typing. That's great. That's cool. But I'm gonna just use surprise me. I like to be surprised. I don't know. This is one about pizza, and it says you asked for it because, you know, Weebly, when it gives you a random website, it doesn't know what it's gonna show you, you know. So it is a bit slow. Okay, can I just press enter to, okay, and now I can see it. So order and view a pizza over the web. Oh, how futuristic is that? How futuristic is that? I don't know how they get their visitor count. That is something I see on some static website, and it is cool. I wish I could get visitor count on my website. Like, this is a lot of visitor actually. This is a lot of people that have seen this website, if this is accurate. I don't know how they get, where they got that number from. But yeah, that's kind of cool. And now you can like quit and do a neo fetch just for fun. I want to do a little neo fetch in that terminal. That looks kind of cool. I should probably use that terminal more often, but it has some issues sometimes, and I prefer the reliability of Kitty. This terminal is cooler, I will admit, than the Kitty terminal that I'm using most of the time, but it's less reliable. And yes, when it comes to parsing also information from websites, the more bloated they are, the more unique they are. Like, I wish we could, like, at the same time I want to standardize how websites are made, but at the same time I want people to create more creative websites, and these view conflict. But right now what we have is the worst of both worlds. We have websites that are not standardized and are not creative. This is at least if you're gonna have all the websites be boring and all look the same, make them easy to scrape. I don't know, make them easy, like the information to be accessed using different method. And I think the way websites are made today are too dynamic. Two dynamics. There should be a division between static websites, dynamic websites. And also, I think it's sad that we don't have more cheaper alternatives for people to start creating dynamic website. Like, I think there is some, but they're hard to find and hard to set up, and aren't always that great. So, but I suggest everybody create their website. Like, of course, it is cool to have your websites, but it does take a bit of time, and not everybody has that free time on their hands. And I wish I could be able to talk more about terminal stuff in this video, but I want to keep it focused. I wanted to talk about websites. I wanted to talk about my website, amasnimas.com. I hope you will go on it. I hope you will read the article, and I hope you will enjoy some of them. And if you don't, tell me in the comment of this video. At least I can have a little bit of feedback. If you saw my site, if you went on my site, I'd appreciate some feedback. You can like this video if you enjoyed it. You can leave a comment, all that stuff. Just a reminder, it helps. And this is it for this video. Now let's listen to some Dreamscape.